I hit it fat. Unbelievable. One of the biggest mistakes you can make if you teach anything, piano, foreign language, or golf, is to think that talented students, or maybe even folks that you don't think at first are that talented, can do high-end things. Well, in this episode, we're going to work with a very athletic young high school lacrosse player and an ex-golf pro, still gives lessons on the side, who was a really good player at once. And both of them are people that might get a lesson today where some of the lesson is way up here. But it's my job to boil it all down to something they can do and make it something that they can keep getting better. Because if you have enough talent and enough want to, there's no reason you can't swing at as good as any tour player. There's a lot of talk about which athletes from which particular sport would become the best golfers easily. And you see hockey players because they got a club face and a shaft. You know what's funny? Baseball pitchers are usually really good, and you know who else is really good? Kickers, football kickers and punters are generally good. They're not even pulling on anything except they don't want to fumble a snap. But today, we've got a lacrosse player right here. Tell everybody who you are and where you go to school.
Hi, I'm Ezra Friend, and I go to Isidore Newman School in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Which is famous for Odell Beckham and the Mannings, and Randy Livingston was the number one high school basketball player who would have been maybe the next Michael Jordan, but had a knee injury. Great school, uptown New Orleans. You've been here one time for a lesson, right, with the whole crew?
One time.
Your brothers and your pop,
Yeah.
and you're hitting it better.
Yes, much better.
So we see if we can make it even better than that. You got 6?
Yeah, 6.
So here's your target line right there. Give me your best stuff and we'll dig in.
All right.
So I think the jury's not out anymore. We just go find lacrosse players, start a national team. All right, so it looked like you made a practice swing. You just hit that 6-iron, 159, 177. Let's take a look at it. I think there's 10, 15 yards in this we can get. I like to draw this little line here, make it a different color today, make it red. That line is generally where the club is going to be when you hit it, see? It's just a guess, but you could wait. You could go to impact, right, and then draw the line, but I drew it pretty much where I want it to be. Somebody once said the plane is the boss. If we can get you on that line, coming down to the ball, hitting it simple. And what a lot of folks do, which is unfortunate, that now, like line drawing programs used to be a real hard thing to put together. I use the best in the business, JC Video, Mark Connell, the best service and support there is. I got high-end cameras, but everybody's got an iPhone. And you can buy a line drawing program for like $10. I see people drawing this line on the shaft at a dress, and unless you're Tommy Bolt, look him up if you don't know who that is, you're probably Nick Price. You're probably not going to get on that line because you're facing the ball and your arms are longer as far as the reach for the ball. And then when you hit it, you're going to be turning and shifting and extending your spine. And that's going to put your hands in a different spot and it's going to raise it up. But what I like to do, not 100% necessary, but on somebody like you that could do anything because you're talented and you're young and you're flexible and strong. Why not make him swing? There's no reason he can't swing as good as Adam Scott. He'd run Adam Scott around the lacrosse field and turn him in sideways. So here we go. It's a really good position right there. I like to take credit for all of this from the lesson, but the only thing I would change here, we get that elbow, which is just below that line, we get it to just basically show your underarms a little bit more. The general rule of thumb, Homer Kelly with the golfing machine came up with this concept. He called it the turned shoulder plane. I've seen all kind of people try to describe it. None of them did worth a damn job of it. So here we go. Draw a little navel orange like we got here in South Louisiana. Draw a little orange-sized circle on your shoulder. Come right here where the shaft hits the ground and draw a line through that. That's the ideal position, or the most orthodox position to have this club sitting, that butt of the club and the club head sitting up there. So to do that, right here, just got to jack them up. We get a little jack. Get your arms up, and then what we hope for in a perfect world is then you come back on this plane on the downswing. So we go up higher at the top, get back on this plane, hit it, and maybe even come out a little bit lower. But this is so close to being just dynamite that I think we try for dynamite, man. I'll get postcards from all over the world. You'll be playing all the famous courses. Put the ball here. There you were. We trying to get you up there, Scotty Scheffler. That's a big dude, man. That's Scotty Scheffler. Look, this is what I want to do. You got to, program. They don't do it so much. Go ahead and take it down. Go ahead and take it down. So you know how they got program heights and weights? I don't know if they do that so much in lacrosse. They like either down value how big or tall somebody is, or they undervalue just for, for corn throwing, basically. Like Peyton Manning was always supposed to be 6'5". I stood next to the guy a couple times. He's a lot taller than 6'5". I don't know how tall he was before he got hit on the head a bunch of times playing in the NFL, but I'm telling you, I think he was 6'6" at his tallest. And you always have basketball players. I always want to make the basketball players taller. So we got Zion Williamson here. I love Zion. I think he's going to have a big year, but I don't think he's 6'6". And Scotty Scheffler's supposed to be 6'3". He's the largest 6'3" human I have ever seen in my life. So what I want to do, I don't think I can arrange this, but since Zion supposedly plays a little golf and Scotty Scheffler's a jock and loves sports, I'm going to see if I can arrange them to stand next to each other like two little brothers, because I think Scheffler is taller than he's supposed to be and Zion's shorter than he's supposed to be. Go ahead and do it again. How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
You're the tallest 5'11" person in the country. Here we go. Let's do this backswing again. So we're gonna go right there. So that's a decent amount of lift, right? Think you can do that and hit it? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure. Too low. All right, so first one we're gonna draw, we're just gonna draw that one, right? We're gonna draw that turn shoulder plane. So here's a navel orange from Becknell's. Right there. So we got what? That's about 4 more inches to go. Reach for the sky. That's what Jack Nicklaus's teacher used to tell him. Jackie, reach for the sky. Let's see. Get up on that line. Get, almost. This is why people don't ever get any better. So let's say somebody sees this video. We hope lots of people see it. They go, I think I'm not on that turn shoulder plane. And you go out and you finally get up there like you were 90% correct. You hit it worse. So I don't care what this Manzella guy says. I'm going to go back to doing what I was doing. It's one shot, come on. Sometimes I'm a one-shot wonder. Turn that chest and lift those arms. So I used to teach a guy you may have heard of. I don't know, you're the age that you may have not heard of him. John Schnatter. Papa John Pizza.
Oh, wow.
He's Papa John. How about to giving him 500 lessons? Anyway, he had 2 full-time trainers at his house all the time. I think they even stayed there some of the time. And he worked out. I mean, if you punched him right here, you hurt your hand, and he couldn't lift his arms up. He was like you, but they were really far down there. And I was like, did somebody jump on those arms this time, John? So what I would do, I would make a couple of like just not really fancy or try to be too perfect about it, but I'd make a couple like little practice lift backswings, tell myself I don't feel any underarm coverage here. Like it's the arid extra dry right here, babes. Get it, wait, a couple little practices. I'll sign off, I'll be watching, say that looks good, then just go back to address and whack it. No, get over the ball. So so when we really say that's it, then you don't have to move back this way. Move back that way. There you go. Right. Okay. Practice. Get up there. Way up there. That's it. That's it. That's it. One just like that. So not only is it not getting up there, he didn't particularly like better when it gets up there. So part of teaching golf is realizing that if you go to the Hall of Fame, I've been there, they were in St. Aug, Florida, and they moved to Pinehurst. But everybody didn't swing exactly the same. So you just sort of like athletically figuring out for you that this arm wants to be lower at the top. Not ridiculously lower, but also not, if you just look at that, I could find somebody in this JC video library that's world famous. That arm really doesn't have to be any higher than that. That's higher than it was, but I'm slick with that. So let's hit one or two more with that backswing. So just a mini lift. All right, so it's just, I would let it go, it would go here, but I'm gonna make my custom manner swing and just add just a mini lift to it and just hit the crud out of it. So I would like you to have some movement to the left or off the right, whichever way you internalize that, right before you take it back. Just on the left, then back on the right. Just a little rock forward and then make your backswing. Because I don't think you know when the club's going to go back. It's just like it has a mind of its own. I was watching to see how much all of this was turning early, you know, right here, Long Island lacrosse. And I couldn't really guess when the backswing was going to start because it's just kind of random. So if you just, little left foot and then make your backswing, I think it'd be a lot better with a little mini lift. Yeah, just like that. And you could do it like you did it. You did it once and you wasn't like right down with it, and you just do it again. Just an upgrade, that little rock. They've been doing that since the 1600s. I'm slick with that backswing. So watch this here. Let's pull somebody up built like you. Adam Scott. Okay, we can find a face on Adam Scott here. Okay, but what we really want to do here is look at him when his left arm is parallel to the ground on a downswing. So there's left arm parallel to the ground downswing. There's left arm parallel to the ground downswing. He's little, and he's about your height or taller, so we're going to make him same size as you. So look at this. He's got this kind of angle going here. Right? And you've got, so this is where Adam Scott's club is. Your club's out here like this. So and then it really kind of like really comes out by the time your arm's like 45 degrees down. And you can see Adam Scott kind of, sort of, still has a big angle there. Right? So what's up with that? That angle, right? That sort of wrist cock angle. So how do you shoot? You shoot like this. Pretend you're going to do it. You got in the clear, and you got the goalie leaning the wrong way. You're just going to just zip one in the right side of the net. We might have a clue here on how this works, because I've never really looked at the lacrosse action. Still more angle than, right? Still look at this angle. Still more angle than, but it's not a ridiculous amount, because I bet you if you put too much, what do they call the thing you throw with?
A stick.
It's called the stick, even though it looks like a. If you had too much angle, I think like this, then you'd have a lot of. You'd shoot it high sometimes, so you take some of that angle out. Let's see if we can introduce the golf angle to you in the swing. So go ahead and take your grip right here. If you do this right, it might really go somewhere. Okay, make that backswing. Little rock, right? Little rock. Little lift, coming down and hold it. So you'd be turning a little bit more. So we want, if I was right here, is start working toward the ball, is not pushing into me very much. You can drag, turn your belly and turn, drag, 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 drag. You could still hit that ball from there. Wrist would probably be more like this. Right? So what you're doing is you're pushing into me. And let's turn around and do it this way for this camera. So set up to the ball like this, like this. Okay, make that backswing and hold it. Maybe just a fraction more left. Coming around the mountain when she comes. Here we go. Now, the feeling is I can go pretty far without pushing on Brian. I can pull the club this way more, right, while I'm turning and get to like right there. That'd be a good place to practice. Like when your hands are right opposite your right leg, the shaft's parallel to the ground. Where normally you have it about right there. Okay, so go ahead and step to the ball regular now. Go to the top. So coming down, feeling like you're gonna take the butt of the club and put me out of commission right here. Boom, right, so there you go. Hands opposite your right leg, club head, still the same height as your hands. Right? So the feeling is I'm keeping this club head both inside, this is inside, my hands, and higher than my hands on the way to Brian, so that before I would even hit the ball, if Brian got right here, I would stick this thing into his chest, perfect. Okay, go from there to the top, all the way to the top, all the way to the top, turn, it's turning, coming down, right, there you go. And maybe just a little wrist, turn that down a little bit. Go to the top again. Feels really different, huh? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, come on down again. Right? It's like an underhanded javelin toss, right? If you get this, I got this stick right here. If I wanted to really lawn darts, right, throw it up against it from the top. If I start doing this, the dart might get me. I could. So you would put it in position where you could fling that thing, drag it down, and then you would release it like that. And if you practice it with a pool noodle or any kind of stick, it needs to kind of go like that. Go to the top, drag it down to there, right there. Go back up and then hit it. So watch, let me show you what I'm talking about. It's just called the bounce back drill. So instead of just backswing, hit the ball, you're gonna go pose speed, backswing, pose speed, lay the club on the line right here, really like it, rock forward, rest of the backswing, normal speed, and hit it with the idea, this is the idea of the drill. If this is where I was supposed to be, damn it, I was just there. Should be able to kind of do a pretty good imitation. One time up, one time practice down, one time back up and hit it. Okay, and then we're gonna do that again, and you do it on your time, right? Okay. That's the drill. You do it on your time. Because the whole idea of it is you would almost do it as if you were gonna go play golf that way. And you, even on like a little wedge shot, you just go, okay, I got a 30-yard wedge shot. I'm gonna go back, we'll come down once, I'm gonna go up, back. Like you can play golf that way. I actually saw a guy who did that. It horrified me, but it worked. So what we're looking for here, there's the club. When you come down on a real swing, do you get to the same spot? Not quite, right? It's leaked out a little bitty bit. So the trick is the club, the weight of the club will kind of do it for you. So this is the balance point of the club. Every club's got a, you put on a hole in your finger. So when you make a backswing, that red ball is on that side of you. Look at my fingers, not doing anything. If I make a downswing, make my hands go kind of out like this and keep the club head back, the weight of the club will do all of that work for me. And then when the center of mass of the club gets on the outside of the hands, it'll come out. But what you were doing, you were taking that and you were helping it. So now we're going to try to feel like it stays on the other side of your hand a little longer. Here's that balance point right here. So if you can keep the balance point on your side, okay, make your hands go out like this and leave the club back here, the weight of this club is going to do all this angle for you. When you get down to this spot, no problem. Right? Just feel like it stays like on your thumbs. See, look, even with this stupid noodle, it's on my thumbs, right? The weight of it. I'm going to come, how far down can I still be supporting, get my Lombardi putter here, supporting that weight of that club on my thumbs? Because if I go this off of my thumbs, it's going to go out this way. Keeping it, and it'll get a little closer to you when you do it, like this. And then at some point, I mean, you got to go to the ball. This will get on this side of your hands, and it'll come around and help you hit it. That's the plan, anyway. So don't do the bounce back drill. Just feel like you're just manipulating that balance point and hitting it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I want to think about the last time I ever told anybody to do this in a lesson. Like I used to tell everybody, but you live and learn as a teacher. You go, well, you know, it ain't for everybody in a lesson, but you're the perfect person. You haven't played that much golf, and you could wind up being a super duper golfer, not just a good golfer. So you can tell you kept that mass center's right there. You kept it behind you and closer to you. A lot better there. Still leaked out at the bottom, but for a first try, if you do that with, you know, the average Joe or Jane, you are in for a long hour as a teacher. They'll miss it, shank it, do everything. So you basically just think to yourself, you know, they don't do it naturally. I'm going to put them in some positions that they may figure out that if they do it, they hit it better. And then you just put it in the hands of the man upstairs and say, that's it. But you know, I ain't going down like that with you. You're too young and too talented. You hit it on the first try. Here, let's do it, pose it again. I'm going to give you one more thing on that. Same exact thing you did. Go to the top. So this thing is going to get closer to you. And it's going to feel like at some point, here, let's get the noodle to the top. So start coming down. Everything's going to get closer to you, and the noodle is going to feel like it gets like it would almost, if the club was whippy like this, they have trick shot guys that use a hose, a garden hose, and the thing wraps around them like this. So here you are at the top, a little higher than you were, right? Turning your stomach, trying to keep this balance point behind you, and it'll feel like you're dropping it close to you, and then pulling it out of your back. Boom. Like this part of your back. Do it again. To the top. Nowhere near your back, right? Look, if it wrapped around, it wrapped around your neck. And then as you try to manipulate where the balance point is, it gets closer to you and gets kind of in the middle of your back, and just pull it out of my hands. Just pull it. Whew. That's the feeling right there. He's Sergio Garcia Jr. One of the funniest things I ever seen in my whole life is Sergio Garcia now goes to all the UT, Texas football games because he married a ex-quarterback's daughter. It's funny. The SEC is undefeated, baby. Once we get you can go ahead and tell your financial advisor how much money you're going to spend for the next 40 years. And it ain't cheap. Go to the top. Right, so it's like there's a shelf here, and you can feel it. It's like that's where the noodle would be, where my hand is, right? Staying inside. That's Sergio-like right there. All right, let's see. I still think the rock is important. This guy. Let me just tell you, in this business right here, you see people like this, like once a year if you're lucky. So I'm going to show you a little drill. And it's called the fiddle drill. Okay? So stand right there. I'm going to do one for the camera, and then you see what it's all about. Okay. The fiddle drill, folks. Often imitated never done exactly correctly. So that's on me. So I'm going to try to do a better job with you. Okay. With your hands in their normal position, take your hands off so that you only have the first 2 digits from each hand and your thumb holding the club. So you got, hold it up like that. 2 digits, middle finger and forefinger and thumb. But they're pretty close to on the grip where they were. Okay, so just watch the rest of this. And then you slide this back so it's even with your kind of collarbone, just to the right of your head. And you pick it up and you put it on your shoulder. And what you're trying to do when you put it on your shoulder is get it perfectly 90. So 90 this way, right? And 90 this way. But you're in your golf posture. Boom. Then once you say, I think that's pretty much 90, then you turn your back. And you've got a little backswing. It looks like when they used to play with coats in the late 1800s, right here, early 1900s. Now, this is fiddling, because it looks like you're playing a big old bow. Now, don't throw it off, because the strings don't get strung. Right? Now, while you're going out, you shift your weight left. While you're going out. And then you go further into the fiddle, further into the movement, and at some point, the weight of the club is going to get on this side of your hands, and you can put a finish on the end of it. So let's see if I can do a pretty good job of it right here. The fiddle drill. Got your fiddle fingers, your fiddle shoulder, your fiddle top, shifting while you're pulling out, going further into the fiddle. And what you're trying to do on the last fiddle, I'll try to do one on the, hey, we got it on video, check it out. What you're trying to do on the last pull is keep it on your shoulder as long as you can. I'll do it one more time right here. All right, so here we go. Me and Sergio at the top. Come on, Sergio, you got to have a longer swing than that. Okay, well, I'll catch him up with that instead of wasting any time with that. So there's Sergio. Here's me into the fiddle drill, right? We're in the same spot, right? How about that? Now, when I get my hands to my legs, that club's still up there, almost high as my neck. And then when Sergio gets there, it's going to have been coming out a little bit, right? So when I do the drill, see that just snaps in there. Watch this, boom, see? If you just keep pulling, you go all the way to finish, just like Sergio here. He just kept, his dad taught him to ring a bell, feel like he was ringing a bell, and that didn't make any sense to me. I heard that story. I even did a golf clinic one time, and Sergio's dad was there the whole time. What a nice man. We have a software that we take a swing from Gears or OptiTracks and yellow little dots on the club, see that? And we run it through this software that Dr. Stephen Nesbitt wrote for us. And we can tell what the golfer did to the club. So we had Sergio. And really, the reason we had it was this move he makes from this angle. But I wanted to see about the bell ringing. He says he tries to ring the bell. So I look at the software, and guess what? Nobody ever asked him what side of the grip he was pulling down. He pulls this side of the grip down. I don't even think he knows what side of the grip, and I don't want to tell him because I don't want to mess him up. I like him. So he pulled this way. But the point is, because he keeps turning, this mass center gets on this side of his hands, boom, and lines up with the ball. He was probably 19 years old, a better golfer than Tiger was at 19 years old. I know if I said that on the internet, I'd get attacked. Just go back and look at the record. I mean, he almost won the PGA when he was 19. Tiger wasn't doing that. Go ahead and set up. We got Kyle Berkshire right here, world's longest driver, right? So watch him. Watch this, just to give you something else to look at. Watch Berkshire. So he swung 150 miles an hour at this ball here and hope it seeps in. Because if after all of that you can't do the fiddle drill, how can we expect the people who watch the show to learn the fiddle drill? So you do that, then you walk it to the right, then you pick it straight up on your shoulder, right? Then you turn. Now you look like Harry Varden in a coat. Then you play this fiddle, and you fiddle in more. Like you started here, but you fiddle more in and more out, right? Keep going out.
So if I pull this way, I'm going...
And when you go out, you're shifting the other way. It's almost like you're using the push this way to push off of a wall and go this way. There you go. And then pull all the way through to the finish. Just pull it all the way like you, boom. Okay? Let's do that again. And try to hit the mat this time. I thought that was, for a first try, that was beyond anything. There he goes. He's fiddling. Come in more, come out more. Okay, and then one of them just all the way through.
Oh.
Right, here we go. Sergio, baby. Sergio's probably got indigestion right now and doesn't even know why. Look how good that looks right there. Somebody's copying my swing. Look at that. And it looks like it'll never get there. Boom, it gets there. Right? And as you're feeling, right? So when you hit balls, you can kind of piddle around with, just trying to do it, and you do the drill, and you're just getting a feel, and you say, okay, just a backswing. Fiddling. Coming out of your back. There it is. Okay. Figured at some point the ball would go a little further right, but not that far right. We know that when the ball, the real ball, right, the ball you're hitting, is here, you would have hit Brian right in the head. But you definitely would have hit a noodle, so we don't have to worry about me, cameras, or anything else. We make this a yeah, so you have to hit the ball without hitting this noodle. So you have to come down on this side of it. So I'm going to let you make your backswing normal, and I'm going to go whoop, and you're going to come down on this side of the noodle to hit the Nerf ball. Okay? I mean, on paper. It sounds good.
Like,
No, I should have it further out this way. You're going to miss it on this side. Nope. Sharper coming down. There you go. Okay. Ball's got to go somewhere, but it's a Nerf. Oh, look, it's better. It's better, right? It's way better, way better. So that's it. So part of the reason why I think people don't learn hard moves, like in golf, there's nothing on paper harder to put in than this. This is it. Everything else would be a picnic. But the point is, you just did it. That's a problem, see, because now I know you can do it. So I don't feel so bad about you going sideways on a couple of balls. So here's your, right, but I'm not going to actually do it this time. Right before you hit it, I'm going to hold it here so you can see where it would be. And then during your swing, it's not going to be there. It's just an imaginary noodle and an imaginary strange Italian man. So there's your little don't hit. So the other thing that I used to do all the time, come over here, is I taught in this place in Louisville called Golf World. It's not there anymore. And there was a Coke machine. The whole front of it was like a very flexible plastic. So what I would do, go ahead and set up right here, like you're hitting back toward the cameras. No, this way. No, all the way around. There you go. You see, you can't make a backswing. You got no room. Now, you can kind of say, well, I can hit this, right? Except I'm not going to try to push it this way. I'm going to just drag it down. So hold it up in the air like this high. All right, so there's your imaginary ball. So you're not making a divot. So make your backswing by hook or crook. Just pick it up and you're swinging up in the air and trying to not hit just barely. See the feeling right there of not going toward the screen, right? Do it again. Make a little swing at it. Go whoosh. There you go. Okay, let's try that with a ball. So this is one of those things where I never had it, and I learned to do it better than this. So like you would hit that noodle right there, and boom, right? Like some people were taught, Bobby Clampett was taught to do it, and then some people just learned it. So, Sergio's dad told him ring the bell, and I didn't even know what side of the bell he was ringing. But the point is, you don't have to do it on the golf course, but it's just one of those things when you practice, you just say, I know I'm not supposed to go way out like that. I'm supposed to take a straighter route. My hands are going more toward my ball. Early on away, right, to keep that on the other side of you. But then I got to stick that thing in Brian's chest and do like the fiddle drill and go all the way to the finish. So this time I want to see some speed. Underhanded javelin. You take a swing like yours, which is getting there, and you add a little extra, people basically call this lag, even though they've bastardized the term, but okay, let's call it lag angle. That's more lag angle than you had, and that makes the club rotate around the clock like this, slower, right? Go ahead and take your grip. So it has less of this rotation because you're doing more of this, right? Now, guess what? This rotation right here helps you square the club up. That's why slicers generally look like this, because they have the face wide open like this, and they're just doing anything they can to try to make the ball, shovel the ball forward, take your grip normal. So the more you do this, and the harder you do it, when you rip it, the more you're not going to get some of the squaring from the club going around the clock, and you're going to have to add a little bit of turn the FootJoy logo, and that'll take every little bit. It's just like salt on a baked potato. A little bit tastes pretty good. A little bit more tastes better. Too much, you have to throw it away. And you must be dieting for an event if you don't put any of it on it, right? So let's see you drag that sucker and then turn the back of that hand down just a little bit. And by the way, 85, it's not 82. Let's go, come on. You didn't know you were supposed to do it. You didn't even know what it was. Now you do. You might figure it out better than me, jumping around like a monkey. Go ahead to the top. But this puppy right here, when you're dragging, still has to, look, see this face? Still has to keep Brian from sliding off so that ball goes straight. So let's see it. Don't let my finger slide off, and drag the heck out of that. Beautiful. That's straighter for sure. So you have control over that twist part of the club face. You can see it still kind of comes out a little bit. So anytime you got a golf club in your hand, you can you don't have to swing. You can have just a stick and you go, this is what I was doing. And I can whoosh that club without doing that. I can do it with the head end too. There's you going out normal, and here's you, right? And it's a feel. You keep working on it. When you do it, whether it's on the course or in practice, and the ball goes to the right, you know just what to add. And next time I see you, I'm looking for Sergio. All right, brother? Good job. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you so much.